Welcome back, everybody. This is the Firefly review board. I'm going to get that out of the way right off the top. Are we back to formula or are we on a different trajectory? We're going to be talking about all that and more on today's episode with Abhi and Fumbah. What do you guys think? Overall episode 6. Give me your thoughts.
Overall, pretty good. I think it's a much better episode than the last one. Tommy was a really good addition. Just seeing his and Joel's relationship grow. That was kind of expected for the episode, but definitely like seeing it, like the whole town dynamic they had. I have like some issues with the storytelling here and there, but yeah, we'll get into it. Overall, good episode though.
Okay. Fumbah, what do you think, buddy?
Yeah, same. I thought that some of the key story beats were like slightly rushed, in a way that I didn't quite like. But for the most part, I thought that this was a really solid episode. I continue to love the dynamic between Ellie and Joel and how the characters' portrayal of these people are. I do like Tommy. I also really love the actress who played his wife in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's a pretty solid episode, pretty standard.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy with all the additions. It really felt like for me the past two episodes were a little bit lacking, and I really felt at least that we're stepping back into the right direction. We're going off script of what the game was doing, but like we're staying faithful enough to explore the characters that the fans want to be explored, not some random person that's not going to be doing anything or like have any impact on the plot, to be honest, right? Or the overarching plot rather. So I was really happy with this week's episode. One thing that I thought was really lovely about it was actually the continued development of Joel and Ellie. This really felt like an episode where you're sitting with them and you're sitting with their relationship. What were some of the moments for you guys in this episode that were like kind of a highlight moment for Joel and Ellie? If you had them, if you didn't, also feel free to speak up. You're like, I hated all of it. It was
All bad.
Definitely my favorite scene in the first game they did recreate here was the moment where Ellie has that line where she's like, everyone I've ever known has either died or left me. I think it's a good moment here too, but it's just getting to that point. I feel like where the entire story feels a little rushed. And it's hard for me not to see it as the game since that's what I've known for so long. But yeah, overall, like I did like where the relationship goes. It's like now we're just getting to the point where Joel really does care about Ellie, and then this was a family episode. It's Joel realizing that Tommy as his family is completely different now, and he needs to grow too. And definitely like him being at the barn, at the end, all ready to go, and she's just like you, and then just like throws the bag at him. Like that's amazing. That's some good stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that like I really like that scene. There's just like one line in there, and this is entirely a nitpick, but it really did kind of like made me disappointed. Just because in the game, when Ellie reveals that she knows about Sarah, his line was like, "No, girl, you're on some mighty thin ice."
Oh
Like that
yeah.
delivery felt like the way that Troy Baker delivered that line. There was just so much pain in that, where it's like you really don't want to fucking go here.
hmm
You felt that with like Pascal. He did a great job, but it was just that specific line. I was really looking forward to it, and it just didn't get that. But again, that was entirely a nitpick. It's not that big of a deal at the end of the day.
I feel you though, but it's like so hard like seeing the show without it. And I think that's why maybe I need to like brainwash myself a bit still. Like I'm still in the process of it. Like this is the show, this is the show.
Yeah,
But
right.
but it's just that same scene, dude. It's like all the Joel moments that were unique to the show. Like when he sees Tommy for the first time and screams like Tommy, like that hit, dude. Like Pedro
Yeah,
Pascal's an amazing actor. Like his
right.
version of Joel, like he's portraying is perfect. But
Yeah.
I also think the video game Troy Baker's was also perfect,
Yeah.
Like and it's like whenever they try to do like what the game is line for line, it just doesn't hit for me as much. But whenever they're doing their own unique stuff, like it's really good.
Right.
yeah,
Right. I thought that was one of the interesting moments, like being able to speaking onto the relationship with Tommy and Joel, him being this like hard shelled kind of guy, and actually him coming into the bar and like breaking down to his brother, being like, I can't do this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to make it if I do this. You know what I mean?
mhm,
And I just thought that was like a really beautiful scene because by the end of it, I'm fully like understanding what's going on within Joel, right? Whereas in the game, it's he does have that much more hard complexion. We didn't get that scene in the game. It just cuts to him being like, "No, you're coming with me," or like, "You can make the choice," and she's like, "I'm coming with you," you know. So to actually get that was really lovely, especially when you like collide that in with like the following scene with Ellie and him, where they have that argument, and she says something about Sarah, right? It hits so much more. I felt like, because so I thought that as far as like the exploration of Joel, I think Pedro Pascal is doing an amazing job filling in the gray areas that was left behind by Troy Baker.
Yeah, one thing I want to add to that, the thing I do love about Pedro's portrayal of Joel in this is that they are really starting to show like Joel is old. Like he's an old man and
Yeah.
he really can't be doing
Yeah,
so.
I love that.
My knee hurt.
Exactly. Like and I like that they're talking about these significant things, like he's hard of hearing, he's sleeping longer than he normally would or should. The fact that he freezes up in certain moments when it comes to Ellie, like
Yeah.
you don't get that at all in the video game, and rightfully so. I don't want to. I don't want to deal with that.
By the end of the game, you're like actually weaker than when you started. That'd be interesting, actually.
That would be cool.
That'd be kind of lit. Like at the beginning, you're like just fully stacked, and then by the end of it, you're just like walking around with like the bandages and a cane.
Like of course they're not gonna do that in the game, right? But to have these things and to have that be an emotional beat for Joel rather than Joel just being like, I don't want to do it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
You're my brother, you do it. Like him feeling like I physically can't do this, right? Like, physically and mentally can't do this. Which gives more of an excuse for Joel and more of a reason for him to pass it off to Tommy, right?
It's not bullshit. It's not bullshit.
Yeah, it's not just bullshit. It's not necessarily just you being afraid. There is a rational reason behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he believes it. Like one of my favorite moments in that little monologue that he had was when he was like, he's talking about his dreams and he says, I'm failing in my sleep, right? I don't remember what I said or what I did or like what happened in it, but I know that I failed when I woke up. And that there was like, damn, like he's not even resting when he's resting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's something that's really interesting. And I love the way that he delivered that line.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, one thing I really did like was the incorporation of Maria. I don't really remember her that much in the video game, to be honest.
She was there, but like it was like, I'm mad at you.
Yeah. Husband, you know? It was just like on site, basically like, fuck you, Joel.
Yeah.
But you never really got why. And it's like, oh, okay, I guess, sure.
But that's like what I also think this show takes too far, though, is it's explaining those moments a little too much.
Yeah,
like the haircut scene.
Wait, which was that?
Like where she was like, Joel's.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, yeah, he kills people. I know that. Can we move on? So does your husband. Did you know that about him? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like her interactions with Ellie though, but yeah, it's like in scenes like that where it's like, but once again, it's like maybe I'm just relating too much to the, like I know what the point of the game is right now. They haven't revealed what the whole point of this entire thing is, you know. But yeah, like I think she still comes across in the game as like just like a strong character, and like that's how like Tommy chooses, you know. It's like this is his family now, and the whole point of Tommy's character, at least like meeting him in this like narrative beat, is to show Joel that like he's closed off. Tommy has moved on. Like you can heal like Tommy and find a new family, let new people in, or you can just be completely closed off. And this is truly the moment where like Joel starts to accept Ellie too, like as his family. This is his new family, you know.
There was a great moment between Ellie and Joel earlier on in the episode that I thought was great. Because it marked a nice small like chink in the armor for Joel, right? Where they're talking about where they want to be when they're like when this is all over.
Oh yeah,
and you can see on Ellie's face, right? Bella Ramsey does an excellent job, like kind of like being like, I want you to like say like that we're gonna go off and do something else, right? Or we're gonna go settle down here, and or like whatever it is, you know. You can tell that she wants that inclusion, right? And Joel's like, nah. I'm gonna go raise some sheep, right? And then Ellie talks about going on the moon, right? And by the end of the episode of that scene, she gets up and like goes to sleep, and he's like, dream about raising sheep on the moon, right? Which incorporates both of their dreams. It unifies where their paths that they're on, right? Which was a small little nod to it, right? He was hard in the scene, but it showed some of the soft underbelly of Joel, which I thought was kind of a nice moment, you know?
Yeah.
He's definitely like becoming more sweet on her. Just like the fact that he did show up there and we got to see that scene where like she chooses him and he's like that is like the culmination of it, right? He knows that it might go badly, but he's willing to live and he's willing to be there for Ellie and like do his like duty. And he's like enjoying his time with her. He has to like accept that part.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Joel is the epitome of a tsundere. Like
dude, that's what it's really about.
in the heart, in his heart of hearts, he's just like, baka, I guess. Like, I don't know, that scene was just so adorable of him being, you know, I was here 30 minutes earlier, whatever, I guess I'll give you a choice. Like,
yeah. It's like, dude, just say it, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I was just playing the game too, and then there's that one part. This was like right after Tess dies, and then he's not giving Ellie a gun, but then she needs to like snipe, and then she's like, "Let me help." He's like, and he turns to her, he's like, "I am," and then he's like, "Just take this gun," like starts explaining to her, and then he like looks back and he's going, "By the way, it wasn't because I didn't like want you to protect yourself, blah blah blah." And instead of saying thank you, he just leaves, and then Ellie just looks at him. He's like, "You're welcome." Like that's like just their relationship, you know?
Yeah. She can read between the lines with Joel, you know, she can see between the lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm. One moment that kind of took me out of the game, which wasn't necessarily a bad thing, it's just something that I've noticed over the years.
The game or the show?
The show rather. Was there's this post-apocalyptic bridge that has been popping up in more and more movies. And I don't know what it is about this bridge, but it's over a river, it's in a woodland area, and you have to cross this skinny fucking bridge. It's just a walk bridge, right? The same bridge was the one that they used in A Quiet Place, and I'm pretty sure the one with Sandra Bullock where she has to walk around with a blindfold on. I can almost guarantee.
Dude, I was wondering, like, that looks like the Quiet Place bridge.
Dude,
okay.
Is that the same bridge? Oh,
that's crazy.
That bridge is it's like you can't make a post-apocalyptic film anymore without at least acknowledging the bridge. You have to like look at it or cross it or be like, you can never go over there kind of bridge, you know?
Stay away from that bridge.
Don't turn the fire engine on that place, you know what I'm saying? Just
bad vibes from that one.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just like there's so many bridges and it's always it just kind of took me out of it for a moment, but I thought it was just kind of
I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apocalypse Bridge.
I mean, it's a beautiful location, don't get me wrong. I'd like to shoot there too. So I mean, maybe that's the point. I just want to shoot there.
Maybe it might be like a film thing, right? Where it's just like, you know what?
On the back studio lot, you know, like, oh, bring the bridge out, you know, the walk, you know, we'll put the green.
Don't have to walk on it, but bring it out.
Just walk it down.
Yeah.
It's so interesting too, though. It's like Quiet Place got so much inspiration from Last of Us, and now like Last of Us is like using that too, and just like going back and forth.
Yeah, just to kind of move it along into the episode. You know, I knew that it was too happy for the way things were going in the episode for there not to be something bad to happen at the end. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, I played the game and everything, and like I just know that something bad's gonna happen, but also like it's been too long since like nobody got, you know what I mean? So one moment that I thought was interesting that was a play on what if you played the game, right, versus the series, right? In the game at this portion of the episode, right? They get to the Firefly place, they see the monkeys, and there's a rumbling, and then all of a sudden they come around the corner and it's giraffes, right? And beautiful moment with each other, right?
Yeah.
Where in this
I was hoping we would see the giraffe, dude.
Yeah, so was I, dude. I was chilling to be honest with you. I wasn't even like tensed up at all. But then what they do instead is that they actually cut to like people downstairs, like about to invade the place or whatever, raiders or something like that, right? And I thought that was an interesting play, especially if you played the game. Like, I think that kind of switches up your expectations. So I thought that was an interesting twist because the giraffes don't really need to be there, and I think the big plot point is that Joel gets hurt in that.
But I think after the giraffes, the Raiders do end up coming. And that's like what like I like the monkeys and like they're seen like you get to learn a lot about just Joel and Ellie. Like Joel played guitar, like this and that. Like that's where like the whole guitar thing comes between them. And then just the giraffe moment is one of my favorites in the whole game. It doesn't necessarily need to be in the show, is not what I'm saying, but that moment just hits so much, like showing all this life like Ellie missed out on, and like this life is different. Because I think it does hit that same beat after, because after the giraffes, the Raiders come, then Joel gets hurt, and then it's wintertime when they wake up with the rabbit. So, and that's why they're just going to put Left Behind for the next episode instead. But I think it was a good way to kind of transition that and give us time to understand, or like the audience, it works perfectly for the show. Like gives audience the time, a whole week without seeing Joel now, you know?
Yeah. I think that's
it was cool.
I think that's smart. You know,
I think as like a show that's well paced, like
Very
episodically. Yeah.
I thought it was my spot, but like, why'd the guy have to pull the stake out? Everyone knows CPR one or
yeah, dude.
I pulled it out. You know,
so I was thinking about that.
I was like, Joel should know this, but
never pulled it out. Yeah, but then I was also like, it must be really hard to jump on a horse with a stake in your gut. I don't know.
God, yeah.
I feel like that will fuck up some more.
Fuck her in further. You know what I mean? It's not that bad. Stop complaining.
I guess you're already stabbed, so like it doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I was like, maybe there's some logic to this. Yeah. But in regards to the elephant, I was about to say elephants. I was like, what did I watch? In regards to the giraffes, isn't there like towards the end of the game, doesn't Ellie like end up petting a giraffe anyway? But then like she's already fucked up, so she doesn't even really care. Wasn't there a giraffe scene near the end of the game, if I remember correctly?
No, I think it was only in the university scene. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Only in university.
It's a really nice moment because Ellie was talking about giraffes.
Okay, I think I just remember there being like a moment where right before you get to the hospital, like you interact with something. But I might be wrong. I might be remembering that wrong.
Oh well, there's in winter she like does hunting and stuff. I think,
yeah. And that's when he meets this fucking asshole. Who is it?
Dude, they have to open with the rabbit shot, dude. The rabbit has to get murked.
You gotta get
sorry. You gotta get
yeah. Dude, that was actually like of the entire game. I love that portion of the game was my favorite because there's like 2 or 3 scenes or sequences in which you're trapped in a room with a fucking pervert who you can't kill for some reason, even though you want to, right? And you're trapped in there, and there's just clickers and waves of zombies coming in.
Yeah,
I have a bow and arrow and 3 bullets. Good luck. You know, it's such a good portion of the game, especially when you play it on hard mode and you got him a lot. You know what I mean?
Dude, yeah, I remember just stepping in the glass. I'm like, dude, damn it. Now he knows.
Yeah. My favorite thing would like, especially when, because right after that, you go hunt for the deer. And you can actually like get the deer from like when you first see it. It doesn't do any damage to it, but like it's always fun to like make the deer be like, damn, I sniped it.
I'm good. This game ain't even ready.
I know this game. Yeah. It just becomes second nature. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think that's going to be a really exciting episode just to like see what they can do with Bella and what Ellie can really do on her own. I think it's going to be a really big moment for her. And I'm looking forward to it. For me personally, I feel like this episode brought the show back to, okay, we're back to a stasis of like, it's not going downhill. It feels like it's going back towards the direction of the beginning of the show, but that's just my
Yeah. There's like one other part too I want to talk about. It's like when Joel is getting the panic attacks. I think it's cool to see that. But that scene when the dog comes out, like I really didn't like that scene. Like it was so overdrawn out. Like I don't know. It just felt very once again, like because I think this game is a very dry story. There's not a lot of emotions all the time, but then when the emotions happen, it hits, you know. Right. And I think that's hard to do in TV sometimes, unless you're like David Lynch or like Nicholas Winding Refn, and you can just do shit like that, you know. But like this is not that type of show. But I don't know, like overdoing his emotions, I think in that moment, it just like, I didn't like it visually, like the zoom in, everything was hella slow. And then like Ellie's just cool with the dog, you know, it just felt like they needed to throw something in there just to add tension and like flow. But I think it could have done without that. They could have done something a little like less intense visually, because it just got like corny for me in that moment.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I feel like they could have just toned down the music and just said I feel like the slow pan would have worked if Joel was just if we focus more on Joel's facial expressions, but there isn't any music behind it. Like the musical swelling made it feel a bit over the top. But to feel that intensity of like, is she actually going to? Is the dog?
Yeah, like that was just a random cheap moment for me. But it's like, are they gonna tie that in later? Like dogs don't smell her, or like they don't smell the infected on her.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, is that building up for something later? Because if it is, then I guess it would make more of a sense why they emphasize that so much. Or was that just purely to show like Joel's mental state in that moment?
yeah. I think it was.
It was meant to show Joel's mental state. I
Yeah,
don't
I
think.
think it was really just for the scene with his brother Tommy, where it's just
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I could do this because I care too much, and also I'm
Mm-hmm.
old. I can't do much. Like I think it was really for that moment. So I guess I didn't really mind it that much because I understood what it was leading towards in terms of like a reason for Joe to want to pass this off to Tommy.
Yeah, and that's why I like that he has like panic attacks and like these moments like that makes sense for his character. Like that would happen. He's like losing it right now.
Mhm.
I just yeah.
He got her to a safe spot, and I think that's the biggest thing. Is like he technically got her to someplace safe, right? And this is where it's a big jumping off point, right? Where it's okay. We were stuck together for a really long period of time. Now it's you're safe. You can stay here if you need to. You can go with Tommy, right? Now it's a choice between the two of them. And I think to kind of dive into that scene a little bit, what do you guys think about that big scene between Ellie and Joel? Did you think it was? Do you think it was effective? It was sad for you, Fumbah. Was it?
I forgot you can do reactions on this thing. I was like,
That's
oh
fire.
wow,
Hold on, I'm gonna
that's
add
like
that.
a fight, right? Yeah, no, it made me sad.
There we go.
Oh god.
Thank you, Zoom.
You know what I mean? It was
This is why we use Zoom and not Discord, dude.
Zoom over Discord. But nah, man. Yeah, I mean, I genuinely did really like that scene. It was just like that one phrase that Joel didn't say that like got me be like a little disappointed. But overall, they kind of nailed it in terms of the emotional beat of the scene. Like I still felt the intensity of what Ellie was trying to convey to Joel and how she's basically saying like because I have no one else left, you are the most important person to me right now.
Yeah. I
So
just my problem is like just for that line to hit, I feel like we needed more time with Joel and Ellie, and that's why it feels like still overall it's like rushed right now. You know, there's only 3 episodes left to do all this much. Like that
Well,
moment too, I think it worked, but it didn't get the entire emphasis it needed. But then again, they had that scene with him on the horse later, which I think amplified that scene in like a better way for this one, you know?
yeah,
Um,
for sure.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
kind of mixed feelings on it. I think they both Bella Ramsey and Pedro Pascal like did a great job though. Like they're doing like perfectly like what they should be doing.
yeah, it would have been cool to be able to like pace this out a little bit further. Do a full 12 or like I mean, even 2 seasons. I wouldn't be upset about.
Exactly. I think 2 seasons would have been perfect for the story.
and honestly, would really
Then Bella Ramsey could have actually been of the age to be able to like legitimately
like
like
part two. Yeah,
go, yeah, go ape shit and stuff like that.
I think she isn't she like 17 or 18 now?
she's 19.
She's
19.
19, yeah.
She could technically, but I still think she needs to like age up a little bit just to show a little bit of a difference. Of course I'm saying this, and they could definitely just apply some makeup and just make her a little bit older. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Technology, makeup artistry, they can do stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, she definitely looks like she's 14. So I mean,
Yeah, I mean that's the thing like with a lot of like a lot of like 17, 18, 19-year olds like they played old like younger people in like movies all the time, you know? It's like that's why they're actors.
Yeah, exactly.
Florence Pugh played a 14-year-old and a little woman and she was like 30 or not 30 but like 25, you know?
like 30.
She's not 30, she's like 25.
Yeah, she's doing real well. She's doing real good. She's doing real good.
She's doing grown stuff. Yeah.
That's right. Where do you guys think they're going to be taking it with this coming episode? We got 3 episodes left. Where do you think they're going to take it?
So Left Behind next episode. I love that DLC. I think that's like perfect just to do an entire episode on it. I hope they give it like the time and attention I think it needs. Like at least as long as episode 3. Yeah, Storm Reed is playing Riley, and she was really good at Missing. I just saw that like a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I think it's just gonna be cool just to see like a whole episode inside like an abandoned mall too, and just see what happens, how Ellie gets the bite and everything. Yeah, I'm just excited for it. Yeah. I'm like curious to see how they would expand it too. But there's also one thing. I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but Ellie's original actor in the game is in the show as Ellie's mom. So I wonder if they're going to be showing that scene in Left Behind. Yeah. So I wonder if they're going to start, if Left Behind is all Ellie's life, not just the mall. I wonder if it's like there's going to be a bit in the school more, you know? Yeah.
I like that. That'd be really cool. Because, I mean, Troy Baker's going to be in it at some point, too, and we don't know who he is yet. I know, Abhi, you got a theory.
He's the guy.
Wait, what?
I thought, don't you have like a theory of like who Troy Baker's going to be?
Yeah, he's going to be the guy who sucks. Like the guy who's going to be like
Doctor.
Oh, yeah. Probably going to be the doctor.
What? No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I wonder, dude.
He's going to be the creep?
Yeah, I think he's a creep.
Oh, David. Yeah. I think he's going to be David. Yeah. He could pull off David. I think he could. Yeah.
He absolutely pull off David.
Yeah.
He was the Joker. Like,
dude, yeah.
Oh my God.
He was Batman too. That's the crazy part.
He was also Batman.
Yeah. Dude, what a legend.
The man's got voice range, let me tell you.
It's crazy, man.
I don't know. I just like I don't know about you guys, but there's a segment in the game where like you have to help David like move a locker as like there's zombies coming in, and he's like, "Help me!" And I'm like, "No, move it yourself, bitch."
IQ
was honestly.
Yeah, I trusted him in the first round, and it was like, no, never again.
Horrible.
Fucking locker by yourself, bitch. I just they're ready to go, you know.
These next 3 episodes are just gonna be brutal, dude. Like
that's gonna be wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited where they take it, and where they're gonna go from here with it. Out of how many Tommies would you rate this episode?
I'm giving it a 3.5 Tommies.
3.5 Tommies. Whoa, 3.5 Tommies. Here we go. Boomba, what are you giving?
I'll give it 4 Tommies. I like this episode.
4 Tommies. Can I get 4 Tommies? We got 4 Tommies. Yeah. I'm gonna go with 4 Tommies too, actually. I was really happy. I was really nervous after these past 2 episodes. So for it to be like I left overall being like, I got some notes, but like we're back to formula. That's at least
top 4.
Yeah. All right, guys. If you guys like this kind of stuff, leave a comment, leave a question, leave a thing down below, and we'll talk to you later. That's Abhi, that's Fumbah, and we'll see you later.